Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the Doc Watkins Show. My name is Doc Watkins and I'm joined by Brandon Guerra on the drums tonight and Mike Porter on the bass. My special guest this evening is Jazz Texas bartender and audio engineer extraordinaire, Miss Caitlyn Hill. We're going to get to the music in just a minute, but first, let's have a look at the Jazz Texas news. Two former American Idol contestants, Abby Barrett and Cade Foner, who met while competing in season 16, are expecting their first child, a little girl. In honor of their meeting on the show, they plan to name their daughter Seacrest Out. When former Idol judge Randy Jackson heard the news, he congratulated the couple but warned them that when their baby cries, she might sound a little pitchy. Meanwhile, former Idol judge Simon Cowell, who is still bedridden due to his recent back injury, congratulated the couple by reminding them both that they are talentless singers who will never have careers. In sports, after a Cincinnati Reds baseball player tested positive for COVID-19, Major League Baseball postponed the rest of the Reds-Pirates series. To make up for the canceled games, the two teams might play a doubleheader on their off day. Of course, for the Pittsburgh Pirates, the worst team in sports, every day they play is an off day. In bar news, according to USA Today, this summer's newest drink trend is the spiked slushie, which uses beer, hard seltzer, and ice mixed with lime and frozen mangoes. But if that sounds too complicated, you can always go to your local 7-Eleven and mix rum and vodka with a Slurpee. And finally, an Australian surfer repeatedly punched a great white shark to save his female companion who was being attacked by the animal in New South Wales. The shark has since been identified as a juvenile white measuring 9 feet. The surfer guy who punched out the shark has been identified as one crazy mofo. Meanwhile, no word on whether the shark has accepted an offer from the UFC to fight another white juvenile, Conor McGregor. And that's it for the Jazz Texas News. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. I'm so glad to have my buddies Mike Porter on the bass and Brandon Guerra on the drums back on the stage with me. And I would like to start by offering a toast, especially to anybody that's ordered their food and their drinks from Jazz Texas tonight. We've got curbside and delivery now available. So, fellas, cheers. Here's to many more years together making music and having friends. Here goes. All right, we're going to kick things off with one of my favorite blues numbers. This is an old Oscar Peterson arrangement of a song called Night Train. Here we go. Y'all ready, fellas? A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. That's Night Train. Thank you very much, everybody. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Doc Watkins Show. Happy Tuesday night, everybody. I want to give a big shout out to my main man back there behind the cameras, Mr. Chris Zients with Wizard Broadcasting. Thank you, Chris. Also, we'd like to give a huge thank you, a big shout out to our new media sponsor, KRTU 91.7, one of the greatest jazz stations in the nation. Guys, thank you so much for supporting us during this time and for partnering with us. It's truly an honor. Once again, that's KRTU 91.7. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with them over the coming weeks and months, so stay tuned for that. And finally, many of y'all have asked how you can support Jazz Texas during these times. We have a wonderful kitchen program back there, wonderful bar program back there. Everybody's working hard tonight for you, delivering food, doing curbside. We've got a wonderful menu. Make sure and check it out. We'd appreciate it if you'd order dinner and drinks from us, maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that, and enjoy the show. This is the closest thing we can have to a real Jazz Texas experience, is to bring the music and the food and the drinks into your home. So hope you'll consider that. Also, we do have some links available in the description of the live stream for how you can support Jazz Texas. We've also got a merch store with Jazz Texas CDs and some vinyl and some t-shirts. So there's a lot of ways you can support us through these times and stick with us and everything. So, so thank you. This next tune is written by one of the great New Orleans musicians and educators and jazz pianists of all time, the late, great Ellis Marsalis. This is a tune called Syndrome that he wrote, and we'd like to do it for you now. So here goes. That's Syndrome by the great Ellis Marsalis, Brandon Guerra on the drums, Mike Porter on the bass. Thank you all for joining us tonight. My special guest this evening is a professional bartender and audio engineer right here at Jazz Texas. She recently completed her bachelor's degree from the University of Texas at San Antonio and has been a part of the Jazz Texas family since I can't even remember when. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the show Miss Caitlyn Hill. Caitlyn, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Doc.
I'm so happy that you're joining us. You are a bartender and an audio engineer, and you're both of those things. How did you get into both at the same time, equally passionate about them?
Well, one was supporting me through school, and the other one was what I was learning in school.
I bet the bartending was the one supporting you. It probably wasn't the audio engineering,
It
right?
was not the audio engineering. It was, in fact, the bartending, yes. Which it's, you know, the audio engineering is now, so things change.
Never met a bartending student supporting themselves with audio engineering gigs on the side. But it does work around the other way. And being at Jazz Texas, I mean, that was sort of a happy accident, right? Because you and I met a long time ago, and it just so happened that you're into, and we needed a bartender and an audio engineer. So was that totally coincidental?
Yeah, I was looking for a new bar and restaurant that holds its bar program to the same standard that I was trained by, and so I ended up with Jazz Texas and with this excellent team. And
I don't even remember when you started. I feel like you've been here almost since the beginning, but do you feel, I mean, Jazz Texas is a high energy environment. It's stressful at times. I'm sure I'm a really terrible person to work for. Does it feel like a month working at Jazz Texas feels like a year?
Oh, no. I would say working in Jazz Texas is one of the best places, one of the hottest places that you could work at, either as a bartender or an audio engineer. So, no, we don't smack talk you too much in the back.
So time flies faster, because I mean, I know a lot of times, you know, a year seems like a month or whatever, and I mean, like in my marriage, for instance, Jessica and I have been married for 17 years, but it feels like it was just yesterday. Got you there, didn't I?
Yeah, it's really sweet.
So, Caitlyn, I want to talk about the cocktail that you're holding, but first, before we do that, I want to talk about the cocktail that I'm holding, because I've been enjoying these white Negronis ever since we opened our curbside and delivery program. I'm going to just be honest and say I don't even know what a white Negroni is. Negroni for white guys, hey, I'm all for it, but I know there's other stuff in there. What's the white Negroni?
Sure. So everyone knows a regular Negroni, which is sweet vermouth, Campari, and gin, which is typically a bitter cocktail by nature. So if anyone is a lover of bitter, then that would be your cocktail. So the white Negroni plays with that same sort of herbaceous and bitter palate, but it's definitely more of a summer option, crisper. We're using a white vermouth instead of a sweet vermouth, so it's lighter. We're using Carpano Bianco, as well as Hayman's London Dry, and so it's just and with the lemon zest on top. It's just a great summer, boozier, but still very crisp and refreshing cocktail that you can enjoy. It's already been diluted perfectly for you, so all you have to do, if you want to put it on ice, gently stir it. Or you can just drink it straight out of the bottle if that's your jam.
We won't judge you if you do that.
We won't judge you if you do that.
I do it every day. I want to talk about the cocktail that you're holding, but first, before we do, that one's like a little more complexly constructed. It's one of the ones you can get in our curbside and delivery program, and you may be wondering, are they delivering cocktails right to my door? Yes, sort of, you know, with exceptions, because TABC, the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, has made some new rules for us during this time where we can deliver cocktails to you, and it's been kind of a trick because you can't just deliver it in the coupe. I mean, first of all, the driver will slam it before they even get to your house, so we got to be careful about that. I mean, not our drivers, never. But the musicians that drive for us sometimes definitely would. Hey, Brandon. So anyway, point being, you got to package it in just a certain way, and we looked at everything from just, you know, styrofoam containers, and of course we're not going to do that at Jazz Texas. We looked at you know, the plastic baggies and everything, and we decided to deliver it in a really classy way. It's like a cocktail kit that comes with you. You have to put it together and everything. And before we talk about the cocktail you're holding, you and Selena and Cassie made a TikTok video just the other day of how to put this cocktail together once you get it. It's just like a Lego set or an Erector set, and we've got some instructions for you now, and it goes like this. So Chris, can we pull up that video of the Cucumbertini? That's the cucumber teeny from start to finish. Caitlin, tell us about the cucumber teeny.
Sure. So I would assume that anyone watching in San Antonio knows that the spicy or the tahini-rimmed cucumber martini is a staple in the craft cocktail industry, particularly in San Antonio, largely due to the large Hispanic influence that we have, but also who doesn't like spicy cucumbers and vodka. So with this cucumber teeny, it's fresh cucumber juice and fresh lime juice. We juice at the beginning of the day and we dump at the end of the night. As well as Tito's, sugar, and we mix it all together for you. We have it diluted to the perfect point, designed just so that you get it and you can just drink it straight out of the bottle. What more do you need? We would love to be in your house shaking it and getting it as cold as we need to be and having the perfect wash line and dropping it off to you. As I normally would, but based on the circumstances, we've done this so that you can still enjoy a refreshing cocktail from Jazz Texas, just in a slightly different way.
Caitlin, finally, what is your favorite thing about being a bartender and your least favorite thing about being a bartender?
Okay. My favorite part about being a bartender is definitely being able to try the entire arrangement of booze from light to dark, as well as the entire arrangement of beer and wine and whatever else you get down on. My least favorite part about being a bartender is probably, I don't know if I have a least
The
favorite
day
part
after
about
you
being a
do all the
bartender.
things you just talked about?
Let me think.
The morning after, the favorite thing about being a bartender?
Actually, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I was afraid to scare anybody away. But perhaps the morning after would be the right answer. So.
Well, Caitlin, and finally, you're also an audio engineer. How did you even get into that in the first place?
So I was originally studying film studies in school as or taking minor classes in it, but just sort of found I really actually wanted to be a DJ, and I have a DJ setup and whatnot, but found that if I wanted to be involved in like the artistic community locally, that there was a significantly bigger culture of music here in San Antonio, especially in jazz. So just sort of couldn't stay away from it. So I ended up switching over to audio tech and doing sound for y'all.
Well, we lucked out in finding you, Caitlin. Thank you for all you're doing behind the soundboard and on the stage and behind the bar. We love you. Thank you for being with us through these times at Jazz Texas and many, many great times to come. So thank you for being on the show, and I'll see you in just a minute.
Thanks for having us, Doc.
I'll see you at
Thanks
the bar.
for being a great place to work. So.
Okay. Everybody, that's Caitlin Hill. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Caitlin. All righty, we're going to slow things down and do a beautiful ballad, one of my favorites. This is a tune by Hoagie Carmichael entitled The Nearness of You. Brandon Guerra back there on the drums, everybody. There is no greater love. Thank you very much. Well, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right to it. Let's play the board game. Now, I know many of you are stuck in your homes and you're getting bored. You're turning to all kinds of things like board games and other clever activities like looking at videos of kittens and puppies to keep you occupied during these times. And we've created our own unique board game, which you can play along with right here at home. So without further ado, you know how the board game works. We pick two famous people, both of who are pretty boring. We compare and contrast them, and then I get to decide who's the biggest bore. So tonight on the board game, who's more boring, Warren Buffett or Jimmy Buffett? Well, on one hand, Warren Buffett is an investing legend, business magnate, and philanthropist. A native of Nebraska, Buffett is often referred to as the Oracle of Omaha for his ability to predict how many people will waste their money ordering Omaha steaks. While other 11-year-old boys were playing baseball and reading comic books, Warren Buffett bought stocks and was voted by his 6th grade class as most likely to never be kissed by a girl. Warren Buffett says that the secret to staying young is drinking Coca-Cola, of which he drinks 5 12-ounce servings each day, making him the only billionaire who's ever had a lifetime Coke habit. Buffett rarely emails, and he's never tweeted. If only Jeff Bezos followed Buffett's lead, his wife wouldn't have left him. Since 2014, Warren Buffett has held a contest for his employees where if someone can correctly guess who the Sweet 16 teams will be in the NCAA March Madness, he'll give them $1 million a year for the rest of their life. Nobody has won the contest yet, so Buffett has also offered to give $1 million to anyone who can make Kawhi Leonard smile. On the other hand, Jimmy Buffett is a singer, songwriter, author, actor, and businessman. While Warren Buffett owns a yacht, Jimmy Buffett is responsible for yacht rock. While Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading at least 500 pages, Jimmy Buffett has written books that have topped the fiction and nonfiction bestseller lists, but Warren Buffett has never read a Jimmy Buffett book. Coincidence? You decide. In the late 1970s, Jimmy Buffett called his own music drunk Caribbean rock and roll, but now he calls it Gulf and Western, as opposed to what music critics call it, which is purely unlistenable. Buffett loves appearing on camera, and his most famous role was as Margarita Guy in Jurassic World, which was perfect casting, actually, because when it comes to relevant pop music, he's a dinosaur. Forbes estimated Jimmy Buffett's net worth at over $550 million, which coincidentally is the same amount of money that Warren Buffett earns in just 1 week. Some say that his song, Margaritaville, is the most lucrative song in history because of the restaurants and merchandise that have spun off it. But others say Jimmy Buffett is a true inspiration for Hawaiian shirt-wearing frat boys who consider Hootie and the Blowfish a bit too edgy. Well, it's a tough call, ladies and gentlemen, but if you had to pick who bores you the most, Warren Buffett or Jimmy Buffett, the correct answer is Jimmy Buffett. And thanks for playing the board game. Cheers, everybody. To the white Negroni and the cucumber teeny, both of which can be ordered here for curbside and delivery right here at Jazz Texas. We got lots more of them in the back there, as well as a terrific food menu. So make sure and check it out on the website, jazztexas.com, and you can order all your food and drinks there. We're live here every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. So make sure and stream and join in the stream and tell all your friends. We're going to do a special request now for you. This is an old blues tune that we love playing. It's an Oscar Peterson tune, and it goes out to our good friends Tom and Barbara Blair in Uvalde. Here goes. Thank you very much, everybody. That's D&E by the Oscar Peterson Trio. We're going to do one more tune for y'all tonight. We want to encourage you to tune in on Friday night and Saturday night. And earlier I said we're streaming 3 times a week, and actually I lied, because this particular week we're going to be streaming 4 times this week. And the reason is that this coming Sunday is the Jazz Texas 4-year anniversary. And so we're going to be having a big party virtually, of course. We're going to have all the staff here, and we're going to have a big dinner, special food, special drinks, and a special show for y'all. So make sure and celebrate our 4th anniversary. We're going with the, what's our slogan? It's, our slogan is 4 more years. And we hope you'll tune in to Jazz Texas for the 4 more years party. We tried to make 4 more years t-shirts, but unfortunately that slogan was already taken online, believe it or not, by Kanye West. So we weren't able to get it, but 4 more years at Jazz Texas. Make sure and tune in. We're going to close out with one final tune, one of my favorites by George Gershwin. This is Summertime. Thank you very much, everybody. That's Summertime by the great George Gershwin. Thank you for tuning in to the show tonight. My name's Doc Watkins. How about it for Brandon Guerra back there on the drums, Mike Porter on the bass, Caitlyn Hill on the audio and on the interview, and Mr. Chris Science with Wizard Broadcasting. We also want to give a big shout out and thank you to KRTU, our new media sponsor. That's KRTU 91.7, playing some of the best jazz anyone will hear around the world. Thank you, guys. Make sure and tune in this upcoming Friday night. Our special guest is renowned bassist and member of the Jeff Goldblum Mildred Snitzer Orchestra Band, Mr. Alexander Franks. So make sure and tune in. We've got a great interview up ahead with him that we're going to do with Alex. We'll see you Friday night at 8. Thank you, and good night.